Welcome back again for this course, Introductory to Inspiration Economy. And as we said, this course will be a part of the first course, part of our master program. We discussed earlier about how the topics will be covered in general through the course. Of course, the course will be expected to be delivered through lecture, discussion, and presentations from the students. You are expected also to do a research, as we mentioned earlier. Besides, of course, you are expected to take case studies and start to discuss about how you're going to do projects, beside addressing the assignments that will be given to you throughout the course. Now, usually we're going to do the assessment for each course in different style, but this course will be taking beside the discussion and the participation, you will have also the 40% for the assignments and the student case studies, as I mentioned. But always, inspiration economy focus, as we said, on learning by doing. So 60% of the student assessment will be, and the strategy assessment in general, strategic assessment of the course will focus on actually the module and project doing, and how much you try to do a change in your community or in area and so on. Beside the presentation, the final presentation, you're going to present with the pictures and the case study in general. And then the final assessment will be an open book exam, because again, we are not testing your memory only, we are testing actually your understanding. And this is what we believe in inspiration economy, especially that we approach things like a flip class technique, which means that the students will be the ones who will presenting the subject or the course or the module, and the teachers will be facilitating this delivery, so that we ensure that our students have the capacity to deliver and to be leaders and consultants or facilitators or experts in this field. Now, the MSc program is meant to have a business model. This business model is targets to create actually changes, and these changes are focused on creating live models. These live models will focus on first the program and the module intended learning outcomes. So through the delivery, the presentations, the assignments, and so on that we mentioned earlier. Besides, you're gonna need to have always a research and development in the field. Means that you're gonna collect data from the field or from a real case, a real issue, or real challenge, or real actually problem. This will make us start to believe in inspiration or youth or resilience economy. And this is what we're going to bring from you. We bring from you inspiration engineers, inspiration leaders, socioeconomic experts, change facilitators, problem solvers, social innovators. These are the ones who are going to really start to spread the concept of inspiration economy. Now, always we say that there are those who will establish any concept. They have usually something in common. These people, they didn't mention the word inspiration economy, but they were the inspiration and the economy that we'd like to live again. Starting from Steve Jobs that we've seen recently, and then Mandela, which is again about more than 50 years, 60 years that he gave a model, and then Einstein, and then Gandhi, and then Ibn Khaldun in the Arab world, and Umar ibn Abdul Aziz. All these were a source of inspiration for their communities. And there are much more, of course, even your community, I'm sure, in Africa or in Asia or in Europe or in South America, there will be always people who created an inspiration currency. And this currency still exists. It did not go over time. It actually stayed, and it is inspiring more, and it's creating a type of economies around it, a type of sources of inspiration around it, and it brought a lot of opportunities, or made us see the world from this different perspective, or made us see that problems is part of the journey, and problems is the source for our opportunities to create more inspiration. and to bring betterment for the world. And this is what these people lived through. They lived through problems. They didn't live, a luxury life and so on. No, they lived through challenges. Through challenges, they brought their inspiration. And there are many more even today around us. If we hear about different people, not only prophets, but even if we hear people even around us today, from those who on the we call them influencers, or those actors or whatever, or actors, or even singers, or thinkers, all of them, some of them, not all of them, some of them really has had come through a long way to create a change in their community, artists in general, and so on. So it is not only about a mindset, as I'm trying to say here. It's not only about your brain and how much you are clever. It's about how do you deal with the challenges and the problems, so that you create an inspiring spirit. And this is the idea of inspiration economy. It's based on the inspiring spirit and the mind, and beside the challenges that you are gonna face with that, beside your heart. So always we say an inspiring thing, it touches the heart, it touches the mind, it touches the spirit. Now there are theories and definitions of an economic problem. If we see that any economic problem, will be concerned more with the social requirements related to that economic problem, whether this social requirements related to production, or distribution, or exchange, or consumption. And really, it is a science that involves the accumulation, sorry, and the classification and the organization of a knowledge. So a problem, and when we talk about economic problem, or any economic challenge, it is actually we take it from social perspective. Number one, this is what we believe in inspiration economy, and we focus on how it will be really classified, and how it will be, or it will help us to organize our knowledge so that we can achieve better. Now, I will not, cannot, and I will not, and I don't intend to read all these slides. These slides will be available to you if you are registered with the CIAS or with the Inspiration Economy programs, any place around the world. But it's meant to, again, just to give you the depth of the content that we have during our classes. So we can say that the human behavior of individual and society, represented in pursuit of satisfying multiple needs using limited productive resources, can be studied to reach the maximum possible satisfaction of the target community. So this is where we are talking about the economy that we are focusing on. So we are talking about now how this is an economic, we define an economic problem. Any problem can be studied. Any problem can be turned into a science of wealth. Any problem inside it is a sources for wealth. Now, the English economist Alfred Marshall, he mentioned in his book, The Principle of Economics, in a Principle of Economics, he mentioned that it is a science that studies man in his ordinary daily life activities, and it investigates thus the part of the individual and the social activity. And this is where we coincide. This is why we believe it is an economy, because it is, and here where we are, together with a capital-based economy. So it is related to our daily life. It is related to how our society or we as individual should produce or live. But it is we differ here that it's not based on acquisition and use of materialistic requirements. It is beyond that, as we mentioned earlier, that it's relevant to the soul, to the mind, to the mindset. It is relevant to the heart, and this is where we differ. But I'm just giving you in bold where we are meeting the economy in general. So the economist Robin defined principle of economics as the science that studies human behavior as a relationship between targets and rare elements. So again, this is one of the things we do actually. We study not only the behavior, but we study even the higher than behavior. Higher than behavior is the attitude, and we study higher than the attitude, which is the source of these attitude and behavior and reflection, which is the mindset. And we study then the brain. So we go for the psychology of inspiration economy or psychology of resilience economy. Why? Because we show you how the psychological part of these concepts. Now, the principles of these economics focus on the social laws that is we are supposed to focus on in the production in general, where we can really focus on how the production of any inspiring source can be distributed. Here in capital-based economy, they focus on the production of goods, okay, or services towards the consumer, but we are focusing not only towards the consumer per se, but towards the beneficiaries. It might be more than one consumer. So when we understand the principle of economic system, it means we are understanding a set of coherent ideas and principles. And these coherent ideas and principles, they coordinate together and they will be interrelated as variables so that they help us in preparing and achieving the objective of economic activity, whether this economic activity might be micro or macro levels. Now, when we talk about the understanding of economic system, we talk about microeconomics, and microeconomics is where a relevant area of inspiration economy, because inspiration economy focus on micro-related areas, means that areas where we have the community, areas where we can create a change within a certain group or a certain problem, and so on. And here we focus on the behavior of individuals or entities where such market or such companies can be to create a growth. And for that, we focus in individual prices, and we focus on prices of factors of production. We focus on factors of affecting the price of a particular commodity or microanalysis tools such as supply and demand. And we are explaining to you that because you're going to take courses later or in the bridging modules about microeconomics and macroeconomics, and you need to understand how we see these things from our point of view in inspiration economy. When we talk about macroeconomics, we are talking about overall economic performance. We talk about the level of a large country, or we talk about the level of a region, or we talk about a level of a continent, or the whole world, or how we deal with the whole world and how we are relevant to that whole world. And here we talk about the variables like study of national income, the consumption, the investment, and the unemployment. So for example, here for the microeconomics and macroeconomics, they talk about the price and value, which is the amount of money that you need to pay or to get a unit of it. So the value is the word means, or the synonym is the value is the value for the price. The value, each value has different concepts in different schools. For example, for inspiration economy, the value for us is the amount of opportunities a problem will bring. While for the capital-based economy, the value is relevant to the cost and the price. Okay, so it is like, again, it's materialistic related values. While microeconomics is one of the main players for capital-based economy, and it is also the economics of scarcity. So it is economics that focus on constrained optimization. While inspiration economy is economics of abundance. It means optimization of opportunities. So you can see we are focusing on how to optimize opportunities, while in the microeconomy or capital-based economy in general, they focus on economics of scarcity, that the resources are scarce and we need how to we compete with each other, unfortunately, and fierce competition, so that we manage to get out the best of these scarcities. Inspiration economy, we talk about that the word is abundance. It depends on us. It depends on our mindset. It depends on the way that we see things, so that we start to really deliver the best to the community through out of these challenges. So capital economy, specifically microeconomics, focus on consumers and producers, while inspiration economy focus on beneficiaries and stakeholders. Maybe you heard me, I've been repeating the word beneficiary. Capital economics focus on building models on how consumers and producers behave, while inspiration economy will focus on building models. So there they building models on how consumers and producers behave, okay, in general, while here we are focusing on building models on how inspiration change positively or rapidly the capacity. So we don't study thing, we focus on working on the environment itself, and we start to see how we can utilize the positive environment or the positive opportunities so that we rapidly improve the capacity. And of course, starting from the mindset and targeting the community in general and overcoming actually any constraints. So we are trying to make the communities more independent, not dependent on the resources. Okay, I think I will stop here and we can continue in the next class. Thank you very much.